Hello, good people, fellow truth seekers. Important post here. I want to expose how all wars are bankers' wars. There is a documentary on YouTube titled exactly that: All Wars Are Bankers' Wars. And it's a fact. And the reason that is so is because the bankers are essentially the masterminds who were able to assemble and achieve the new world order that has been upon us as a people for centuries. So when people say the new world order is coming, no, no, no. The new world order has been here. The world wars are proof of that. And in this post, we're going to focus on World War II because it is just a glaring example, from Adolf Hitler to the atomic bombs to the bombing of Dresden to the whole shebang. So let's just get into it. If you've never watched one of my posts before, please watch one of my first ones first. I explain gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, which this is mostly all about. But first, I want to start with some dates. And they are the dates the U.S. flag was established, the German flag was established after World War II, and the date of Japan's flag. So let's start with the U.S. flag. Established June 14th, 1777. Sum it up, just as I did on the screen, sums to 33. If you were born on that date, that would be your life number. You would have a life number of 33. You can do that for the date you were born to find your life number. The German flag after World War II was established May 23rd, 1949. That is also a date with 33 numerology. And just so you guys know, this stuff's not an accident. There's eight countries in the world with 33 names, and one of the most recent ones is Thailand, which changed its name from Siam before. Not only does the name equal 33, they changed it on a date that sums to 33 and got the new red, white, and blue flag that day, just like Germany and the U.S. Okay, so Japan, theirs doesn't sum to 33, but notice how 33 is the product of 3 times 11, right? Japan's 27, which is the product of 3 times 9. A lot of times to the occult, you see these pairings of numbers, 33 and 27, and I'm pretty sure it has to do with something about 3 times 11 and 3 times 9. Right now there's the Michael Brown thing in the media. The name Michael's 33, the name Brown is 27. I got posts on that if you want to learn more. Anyhow, also the date that they established it, February 27th, has this 227 sequence in it. That's a reference to pi. And pi has to do with circles, which Japan's flag is. It's a red circle. So this stuff's not an accident, you guys. It's very, very well thought out. Um, in the year 1933, that's the year Prohibition ended in the United States, bottom of the Great Depression. That's the year Adolf Hitler came to power. The name Adolf Hitler in gematria sums to 110. So does the word president. The World Trade Centers were 110 stories tall. The name Rockefeller sums to 110. It was David Rockefeller who proposed the World Trade Center project, and it was his brother Nelson Rockefeller who approved it, who was then the 49th governor of New York. He has a life number of 33 himself, Nelson Rockefeller. Check it out. It's all on my blog. You can look it up on Wikipedia. All you have to do is add. Anyhow, so World War II, Adolf Hitler. Berlin, Germany, center of the action. Berlin sums to 33. JFK once gave a famous speech called I Am a Berliner. I'll link it in the comments below. The date he gave that speech summed to 33. JFK. The name Kennedy sums to 33, just like Berlin. Dresden, where the deadliest bombing in the war, as it was reported, happened, also sums to 33. Dresden was the capital of Germany, the art center, and the refuge for people who lost their homes in the war. And at the end of the war, it was bombed for hours and days straight by Allied forces, causing the biggest mass slaughter as reported in all of World War II. The word Holocaust itself sums to 33, and the Holocaust is essentially, in the Holocaust they say that the majority of Jews were killed by gassing, and the chemical blamed for doing the mass executions was Zyklon B. Was the gematria of Zyklon B also sums to 33? And remember, this is the number of the psyops. This is the number of the hoax. The thing about Zyklon B is, you guys, if you learn about it, you can even read about it. I mean, go research. To make the deadly chemical reaction happen from this pellet, it needs to be heated up. And in the Nuremberg trials is where the only real evidence of any Zyklon B is from the Nuremberg trials, where there was testimony about it. So spoken word. Think about that. Spoken word. Just because somebody takes an oath and says they're telling the truth doesn't mean they really are. From the testimony, it was said that Zyklon B pellets were dropped in through the ventilation into the cold chambers beneath where supposedly thousands of Jews were crammed in together. Well, if that really happened and these pellets came down and hit the cold floor, nothing would happen. It wouldn't cause the gas reaction. It wouldn't release. It wouldn't kill everybody. If you study this topic more, you find out that the Holocaust is a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale, you guys. And I don't say that to offend anyone. I say that because it's the truth. And the reason it's put out there is to cause hate. It's out there to cause confusion. It's out there to cause justification for further wrongdoing since World War II. It's no different than what they did to us on 9/11. It's the exact same thing. It's a terrible lie done by a group of people who blame it on someone else so that they can further out their agenda. And it's a banker agenda. It's about power and control, and it's about manipulating everybody. If you're right now, you're calling me an anti-Semite, which I know happens anytime you talk about things like this. Know that I am no anti-Semite. Know that I am not anti-anybody. I'm not even, you know what, honestly, I'm not even anti the people who do this. I feel like they need the love too, so they can stop. I just want to expose all this nastiness. It needs to come to an end. Adolf Hitler equaled 110. The World Trade Centers were 110 stories tall. Like I said, the name Rockefeller equals 110. They could be the people behind all this. Who knows? Maybe they have that much clout. So anyway, this word Holocaust, it means burnt animal sacrifice to the gods. Burnt animal sacrifice to the gods. Ask yourself, who would ever use a term like that to describe anything? And it was first written about and used, this word Holocaust, in the New York Times, also the Sun, and also the Atlanta paper. Atlanta's on the 33rd parallel. All written about in the decades before World War II. The New York Times used this word Holocaust 20 years before World War II even happened. And also, they were reporting the figure of 6 million dead, dying, starving Jews all over the world between the early 1900s and World War II beginning. And if you're not familiar, it's reported that 6 million Jews were killed during World War II. What you need to think about is that number was being reported over and over in papers such as the New York Times for decades before. So it was like the narrative was being built before it happened, just as it happens now. Okay, I'll give more examples of this. The New York Times was first established September 18th, 1851. If you get the numerology of this date, just like for the flags, sums to 33. This isn't an accident. It's not a coincidence. Newsweek equals 33 in gematria. It was established in the year 33 at the bottom of the Great Depression. Same with a lot of other establishments, including like the Telegraph. Oh, what else? So many more, you guys. All right, so the Holocaust. That's the U.S. and Germany. A worked out hoax between nations, because what I'm saying, you guys, is we've been living in the New World Order for a long time. These nations, they're all in it together. They agree. We're living out a narrative, and they're using we, the people, as pawns in this narrative. They're having us kill each other for no reason. That's what I'm exposing, and it's about to get worse. I'm going to show you what they did with the atomic bombing and FDR and everything else. Okay? So FDR, on March 29th, 1945, you can go look this up, had his last day in the White House, and on that day he left for Warm Springs, Georgia, located on the 33rd parallel north. Warm Springs, Georgia. He was going there to get treatment for his polio. He was supposed to be getting treatment for his polio. Possibly he was going to be able to walk again. This is what was being reported. Instead, he died there unexpectedly of supposedly a massive hemorrhage to the brain. He was the 32nd president. He was previously the 44th governor of New York. Teddy Roosevelt was the 33rd governor of New York and became president after McKinley was assassinated. Anyhow, so FDR, he dies, and then Truman becomes the 33rd president. Shortly after, he orders the Trinity test, which was the first ever atomic bomb test. He ordered it in New Mexico on the 33rd parallel north. New equals 555 in gematria, like the height of the Washington Monument, like the number of sides on the Pentagon, like the number of floors, like the 5-acre court in the middle. Lots of fives. The Iraq War started 555 days after September 11th, 2001 on March 20th, 2003. So new equals 555, and the word Mexico equals 33 in gematria. It should be noted that the word Mexican equals 33, and the Mexican-American War ended on the 33rd day of the year 1848. That's February 2nd, 1848. So, Trinity test, the numerology of that date sums to 33, 33rd parallel. Then the actual bombing of Hiroshima was on a date with 33, August 6, 1945. So we have the Trinity test July 16th. We have the Hiroshima bombing August 6th. Both dates sum to 33, just as they did for the flag. You can sum it up. The plane was called the Enola Gay. Enola equals 47, Gay equals 33. If you follow my video blog, I tell you 33, 47, 74 are often reported. It was also called the Enola Gay Tibbets. The word Tibbets equals 77. Washington, D.C. is located on the 77th meridian, known as the American meridian. The phrase Knights of Templar equals 77, connected to the Freemasons. The word Christ equals 77. The Pentagon is 77 feet tall. And then there's the word Hiroshima. It sums to 55. 55. The number of Satan. Interesting. Also numerology and psychology. So maybe your head's spinning and you're going, so what are you talking about? What I'm talking about, you guys, and you need to watch my other video posts if this is the first one you've seen, is we live in the New World Order. It came over to the Americas with Christopher Columbus and likely even before that. And what we're experiencing is the epic that they have written for us and are forcing us through. And we are now approaching World War III that they're going to force us through just like they forced the people of World War I and World War II through. All these wars are unnecessary. They're all about gaining power and control for a concentrated group of people who we can call bankers. As I said in the beginning, that documentary, All Wars Are Bankers' Wars, the word banker in gematria sums to 33. I'll do this with you. B is the second letter, A is the first, N is the 14th, 1 plus 4 becomes 5, K is the 11th. With K and V, you do not need to reduce because they are 11 and 22 multiples of 11, which are master numbers in numerology. So think of like a card game. They're kind of like wild cards. E is the fifth letter. R is the 18th. 1 plus 8 becomes 9. Sum it up. Banker equals 33. If I made K2, banker would equal 24. Both 33, 3 plus 3, and 24, 2 plus 4, reduced to 6. That's the check. They should always reduce to the same single digit. When you think of the big bank in the United States, you think of Bank of America, which was originally Bank of Italy. Changed its name to Bank of America later. They have that symbol that looks something like this, but nicer. It's 3 11s making up the flag. And if you add up 11 plus 11, it sums to 33. World War I is said to have ended at the 11th day of the 11th hour of the 11th month, 33. On our dollar bill, we have that annuit coeptus. The word annuit means nod. In gematria, nod equals 33. And just think about a nod. A lot can be said with a nod. Talk about a Mason cryptic secret thing. And then the other word is coeptus. The word coeptus in gematria sums to 33. It's right on our own dollar bill. They got this 33 coding over this all-seeing eye of 13 steps. That's York Rite Freemasonry has 13 levels. Scottish Rite has 31, 32, and 33. So all this stuff, you guys, it goes back to the Freemasons, and what I'm telling you is they are the rulers of the New World Order that we've been living in. So really it's the Old World Order. And by the way, Bank of America owns Visa. The gematria of Visa is 33. VB is the 22. Again, KV exception. I is 9. S is 19. Reduces to 1. A is the first. Sum it up, 33. And think about it. Visa's accepted worldwide. And that's why they have world wars, so they can get their banking power and clout worldwide.